How's it going, guys? My name is Frank and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going through how to navigate the cryptocurrency market as a beginner. Now this is going to be going through from the very beginning. You've never started or you've never invested in cryptocurrency before. You might not have ever invested at all in stocks or anything like that. And we're going to be hopefully developing some sort of plan on how we're going to be investing in the cryptocurrency market. And this is kind of a message to my former self, the mistakes that I made along the way. Obviously, we all start somewhere. Most of us are probably going to lose money to begin with. It's just the way markets are, but they're lessons that we learn along the way. Now, before we do jump into the video, if you do enjoy cryptocurrency content of that sort, we are at 430 subscribers as of the time of recording, so let's bump that up to 500 subs. That would be greatly appreciated. Hit that like button, comment any questions you might have down below during the video. But without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. So the first thing you're going to want to do, obviously, when you begin trading is you're going to need to find an exchange or some sort of broker that you can buy cryptocurrency through. Now, personally, I would recommend quite a variety of different cryptocurrency exchanges. So for the Aussies or people in New Zealand, Swyftx. Australians, you could use Coinspot. Crypto.com are always an option. If you're in the United States, something like Coinbase. You've obviously got Binance, Robinhood, a whole bunch of different brokers and exchanges that you can use. To be honest, it doesn't really matter too much what exchange you use. Just do a little bit of research. I do cover a few of these exchanges on the channel, such as Crypto.com, Coinspot, and Swyftx. So go check those out if you are curious. There are millions of reviews on YouTube that you can do for each different exchange and how to sign up to those exchanges. Simply just type in Coinbase review, Binance review, something along the lines of that. The big thing when it comes to picking an exchange is just going to be geolocation. I think for most people, because obviously Swyftx is available in Australia and New Zealand, but it is not available around the world. So whilst I might say that Swyftx is a great exchange, it doesn't really apply to anyone else. So pick an exchange that you would like to use in order to buy crypto. Now, the next thing we're going to need to figure out is how much we are investing. So I think a lot of people go in to investing with a specific dollar amount in mind. Maybe you have $50 a week to invest, and that's great. We can look at a dollar cost averaging plan. Now, if you have, say, $3,000 ready to invest and you're looking to lump sum in, I'm going to say don't do that. Do not lump sum into the market. Break that up into some sort of time frame. We're going to just say like a year. Say you've got $3,000 and you're going to break that up over the course of a year. So 52 weeks, obviously. Maybe you want to invest monthly, but we'll just go weekly for the time being. And what we're going to do is create some sort of dollar cost averaging plan around that breakup of money. Now, when we're picking what cryptocurrencies we want to invest in, I know it is highly appealing to go out and scour for the low market cap altcoin that's going to 10x in the next 2 months. That sounds all well and good, but it is just not the case. If you're new to the cryptocurrency market, we're going to be looking exclusively at Bitcoin and maybe Ethereum. It's just that simple. At most, we're going to be doing a 50-50 split. Preferably, you'd probably go 70% Bitcoin, 30% Ethereum. But I think for now, we'll just keep it simple and we'll say a 50-50 split. Of course, there's going to be, I know how, much people want to invest in altcoins. I understand the idea of making more money, but most people ultimately end up just losing more. Now, if you have to invest in altcoins because, you think I'm an idiot or whatever, go ahead, put 10% of your portfolio into altcoins. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to assume we are doing a 50-50 split between Bitcoin and Ethereum. It is super important that we play conservative, especially when we're new investors. It is easier to lose money in the markets than it is to make it. Trust me. Now, with a dollar cost averaging plan, as we said, we could just buy every single week. $50, $50, maybe, $25 Bitcoin, $25 Ethereum. But I'm going to spice things up a little bit as a beginner trader. It is super important that we make some sort of simple strategy. So I've got this prepared for us. So we're just going to break the market up into a couple of different price ranges. However you want to break it up, it doesn't matter too much. But all I've simply done is got a Fibonacci retracement from the all-time high to $0. And we're just going to look at breaking the market up into a couple of different price ranges. It doesn't really matter how exactly we do this. You could, change this to 0.8 and, go a little bit, hang on, the other way around. We want to go a little bit higher on the lower numbers, sorry. So we could go 0.2 and we could make this, 0.5 and then make this 0.66, something like 0.33. And then we can have, a little bit more of a top end loaded Fibonacci. And what we can then do with this is pick different price levels. So what we're going to do on our dollar cost averaging strategy is, depending on where the price of Bitcoin is dependent on how much we're going to invest. This is a very simple strategy. We can make the lowest area here from the 50% to the bottom. We could make this, if we're saying, what's our maximum? $3,000 divided by, 52. That gives us roughly $57. So we'll just say $55 along the bottom. So our bottom box, so 3,000 divided by 52 is $55. Now our middle box, we could make this a little bit lower. So we could make that the $50 price. So $50 if it's in this price. And then we could make this one, say $40 if it is in this box. And then we could make this top box $30. Right, so what we've done here is we've created a sort of pyramid dollar cost averaging plan. Now, all you need to think about this isn't some sort of crazy trading strategy. This is just simple mathematics. If the price of Bitcoin is lower, we invest more. If the price is higher, we invest less. And we want this bottom area. You can make this bottom area whatever you want. You can change these, levels around however you want. You could make the bottom level, 0.4 if you really wanted to. If you think you're a little bit, we're going to make more money. If you want, the boxes to be a little bit higher on the chart and you're happy to invest bigger. But as the price rises of Bitcoin, you're going to be investing less and less. And what that's going to do is bring down our average buy-in price, which is super important when we're trading and investing. Now, of course, we could just do a simple dollar cost averaging plan where we buy every week, or I would suggest something very, very simple like this, just to bring down that average buy-in price. You can see, if you could imagine, we're buying heaps and heaps at the bottom here. When the price is at this range here, we're buying a little bit less, a little bit less, and a little bit less again. And that way, the bulk of our buying in terms of dollar value will be at the lower end of the chart. So we've come up with a buying strategy. We know when and how much Bitcoin and Ethereum we're going to be buying every week. You could do this exact same thing on the Ethereum chart, or you could just go based off the price of Bitcoin. It doesn't really matter too much. They're both very closely correlated. So we've got a very simple buying plan. We're buying $55 here, $50 here. If we end up buying, or if the price of Bitcoin pushes up a little bit higher, we're going to be buying less again. So keeping our average buy-in price down. And now this is the fun part of this strategy. We just want to sit and hold our assets. Now this is where a lot of people make the mistake. You are not going to sell your Bitcoin and Ethereum for at least 1 year, and preferably 2 years. Now I know that sounds absolutely crazy that you're not going to sell your assets, but these first 1, 2, 3, even 4 or 5 years are really just going to be about learning the market and figuring out how they work, because it's all well and good to sit back and look at the chart and say, okay, well, I know that the price of Bitcoin fell, roughly 77%, and that's all well and good, and I can handle that, and yada, yada, yada. But it's not until you're in the market with your money, watching your portfolio change, it really, it's just not the same. You need time in the market. Watch how your portfolio performs. Watch what happens every week. Watch how your profit and losses vary during the course of a year or two, because you need to basically become numb to that. The thing that is going to wreck most traders is emotion. Emotional traders who buy at the top, they buy on the euphoria, they buy on the message that Bitcoin's going to hit $100,000 just for it to collapse on them, and vice versa. People who sell at the bottom because the market's dead, it's going to $10,000, yada, 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 yada. You know the drill if you've been here a while, but for new people, that you just need to make sure you don't fall for those traps. And that's why we've simply just come up with a buying strategy. No selling yet. We're not going to sell for at least a year, preferably 2 years. And that way we can really start to feel the market, feel the emotions. If the market does tank 10%, what does that feel like? And over the course of the year or two, you basically just want to become numb to it. You want to look at your portfolio one day and go, I'm down 10%. Cool. I don't care. That's the type of place we need to get to in order to be successful traders. And that's why we're putting money in the market, but making sure we don't sell. We need to ride the highs, ride the lows, and just get a feel for how that works. Now, whilst we're buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, and we're not selling any of it, we need to consider how we want to hold it. So, of course, we could just hold it on the exchange that we're using. So, if you're on Coinbase, crypto.com, whatever it might be, you might just want to sit it in there and say, I'm happy to just sit back and ride the wave. They might offer some sort of earn program, put it in there. You can absolutely keep your coins on exchange, but you do need to recognize the fact we've had pretty big crypto exchanges go under, Celsius, FTX, you name it. There's a lot of different cryptocurrency exchanges that end up just going underwater completely, and you will lose your assets if that is the case. There's a good chance you won't get any money back. So do consider something like a cold wallet storage. Now, I'm not going to tell you guys you have to use a cold wallet storage. That's totally up to you, and whether you feel confident in the exchange or not. But I do have some reviews on the crypto.com DeFi wallet if you are looking to transfer funds into cold storage, where you've got your own wallet, you've got your own key. That's a whole different story that you probably want to just do some research on yourself. But do consider something like that. You've obviously got the Trust wallet, DeFi wallet. You've got things like the Ledger cold storage wallet that you can buy. There's a whole bunch of different varieties that you can store your crypto assets on. So do consider something like that. It's definitely just worth, even if you don't plan on doing it, just have a look, see how it works, figure out it might just be the right thing for you. But of course, the good thing is that when you're putting your crypto into cold storage, you're not planning on selling. So, obviously we're not planning on selling using this new strategy as a beginner. We're just looking to buy, feel the market, put it in some cold storage so we don't, we can't sell it in cold storage, but you can just put it away, keep it safe, and just feel the market and how it fluctuates over time. Now, whilst we're in this year or two where we're just dollar cost averaging, we're just getting a feel for the market, you need to really start to learn about crypto. Now, that's going to be, I think the best way to do it personally, I've found, is literally just watching YouTube, finding good content creators on Twitter, on YouTube, you name it, read books. I'll just show you guys a couple. Jason Pizzino, right? He's a YouTuber that covers crypto. Obviously, he has the clickbait titles that everyone wants to use, but he does provide very good content. You'll learn a lot from this guy. Same with Michael Brazzino. Yes, they are brothers, but same thing again. Very good trading. This guy's a bit more short-term trading, but if you are looking to learn the markets, whilst we're in the markets, learning about the fluctuations, seeing how it feels to invest and how it feels, and trying to learn to block out those emotions, what you want to start to do is lay the foundation for how we want to trade long-term, getting that knowledge, learning to read the market and what might happen next. Obviously, you got some other great ones. Benjamin Cowan, he is, the super Bitcoin bull, or the Bitcoin dominance bull, but he does do some great content regarding the charts and reading charts. Another one, just a random one I found that I quite like on Twitter, Income Sharks. I don't know any of these people personally, might I add, but he does do, if I can find, some pretty good technical analysis for the most part. That he's not always right, don't get me wrong, but he clearly talks about how he feels the market's going to work and what he predicts to happen shortly. And that's pretty well what you want. You want to see people how they do things, and pick out the parts you like, because all these different people that I've shown you, just these 4 random examples that I personally watch and I keep up to date with, they all do things completely differently. And and do I copy one of them and try and figure out and try and do exactly what they do? Absolutely not. I just pick out the things that I like from each of them that I think I can implement into my trading strategy, and then make my own sort of strategy. We're all going to be a little bit different on how we like to do things, but if you can just find people, see how they do it, pick out the things you like, discard the things you don't like, and then make some sort of trading strategies for yourself. Get the feel of how the market works, and then what you can do. For example, if you can find, I know Swyftx, they do a demo mode. on their exchange. So if you can find something like this, I'm not sure about other exchanges in other countries, but here in Australia and New Zealand, if you can if you can use Swyftx, or if you're overseas, find some sort of demo mode. You can see it allows you to practice trade. I don't personally use this. I've only used it for videos in the past, but you're able to trade using the demo mode. You can practice buying Bitcoin. You can practice using the chart, predicting what could happen next. You could sit here and go, oh, well, I think that, it looks like the price of Bitcoin is about to dump, and I'm going to sell my Bitcoin in my demo account. Let me stress that, in the demo account. Practice your trading in something that, like this, where you're not actually losing money. Obviously, you've got your dollar cost averaging strategy where you just get a feel for the market. But in something like the Swyftx demo mode, you just want to practice what you're learning pretty well. What Jason or Michael or Benjamin or Income Sharks or whoever it might be that you're watching on YouTube, following on Twitter, reading books. You might want to read books like the 18.6 year cycle. That is a fantastic book that I've read personally. So now let's assume that you've been in the market for 12 months. You have been investing. You've been feeling how the market works, just buying Bitcoin and Ethereum. Maybe you couldn't help yourself and you bought some altcoins. That's all right. We all buy altcoins, but keeping the majority in Bitcoin and Ethereum. And we've been learning from all these YouTubers, Twitter people, picking out strategies that we like, practicing on the Swyftx demo mode, and hopefully ultimately becoming sort of emotionless in the market to where, price fluctuations, all those different things, no longer are we emotional traders. We are, facts and logic. That is the goal. We need to come up with some sort of selling strategy. So obviously this is entirely subjective. Each person is going to have their own selling strategy that they want to use, and I can't really tell you what sort of trading strategy you want, because it comes down to the goals, what your objectives are. Your objective might be, hey, I literally just want to hold Bitcoin for 10 years, and if that's your case, then absolutely go ahead, hold for 10 years. You might be looking to double your money. You might be looking at, I'm just looking to get, a nice 2-3x on my money and then pull it out and, go spend that somewhere else. Whatever your strategy might be, we need some sort of sell targets. Now, it's hard to, this is hopefully what you've been learning over the past year, but you could be looking at something like cycles. You could be saying, obviously the Bitcoin 4-year cycle. You could be looking at time targets. You could be looking at price targets. You could be looking at a whole variety of things. You might just be waiting until you see a distribution pattern, something along those lines. Whatever your strategy is, I can't really judge it because it's all personal. It's, what we're looking for from the markets. But we do need some sort of selling, because obviously we want to, spend our money. We want to reward ourselves. We don't just want to be in Bitcoin forever and ever, living, in a small house or, on the streets or something. We want to pull that money out and live life a little bit, if that makes sense. So whatever trading or whatever selling strategy you create, it's totally up to you guys. Hopefully, after the year or 2 years you've spent, just learning the markets, you half understand. You're never going to be perfect at trading. Trust me, it takes a whole lifetime, really, until it feels like you get a lot better, I reckon. There's always something you can improve upon, always something you can learn when it comes to trading and investing. None of these people I showed you are perfect, traders. None of them I would follow 100% till the day I die. None of them are, not learning. All of these people are still learning. We're still learning. That's what I love about trading and investing. You are never, it's something you really can't perfect, only improve on, really indefinitely. But that is going to wrap it up for today, guys. So just in quick summary, so we've found an exchange that we like to use. Go watch a YouTube video on that. Figure out which exchange is right for you. We want to determine how much we're investing. So maybe a lump sum that you want to break up. Maybe you just want to invest $50 a week. It's totally up to you. We need to pick a cryptocurrency, and obviously we are picking the safe investments, Bitcoin and Ethereum. We want to start investing and watching the flows of the market, feel how the market works, get that emotion out of us as traders. consider how we want to hold our assets, whether it's in cold storage or on exchange. It's totally up to you guys. We're not selling for at least a year or two. We are going to spend that year or two learning, watching YouTube, reading books, scrolling through Twitter, whatever it might be that helps you learn how the markets work. Watch how other people do it. That's the big key. Watch how others do it. See what works for them. See what doesn't. Pick out the parts you like. That is how it's going to pretty well, how you're going to, I think, learn the quickest. And then once we have been doing that for some time, we can start to create some sort of selling strategy and figure out, an ultimate trading strategy for us to take forward, not only, over the next 12 to 24, 36 months, but over a lifetime as we tweak our investment strategies constantly and come up with the best plan that works for us. Now, if you did enjoy, thank you all so much for watching. This took a little bit longer than I thought, but it is what it is. We are at 430 subscribers, remember, so if you are interested and enjoying this content, make sure to push that up to 500 subs, and I'll see you in the next one.